Why do people say less is more, when obviously, more is better? Should we focus on quality or just care about the quantity? I decided to read the greatest minds on this earth to help us come to a conclusion if in art, focus outperforms volume. At the end, I will use these practices in a test by making one painting per hour and compare if putting more hours into a single painting gives us a better result. As a painter, what is the actual problem I am having and why am I acting all worried? During my 3-month painting journey, I had a period where I was doing around 10 small paintings in a month, but recently, I transitioned into making artworks that are taking 50 plus hours and still do not feel like they are even remotely close to being finished. This is where the conflict starts to arise in my head. As you can see, I post videos on YouTube, and this platform is really biased towards quality content rather than just long videos. And most of the big consultants in this circle tell you to take bigger swings as small ideas are a waste of time. Due to this, I am being pulled in both directions and do not know if I should be focusing on doing 20 paintings in a month or keep the big swings as priority. Because I cannot lie, when I was doing a new painting every 3 days, it really felt like I was on a progress train. But what do I know? Apart from reading the Da Vinci notes, I have zero art background except couple paintings I did as a kid. You should really look at me as that one friend that took gear and is trying to give you gym advice. When we talk about the greatest minds on this earth, what names come to your head? For me, it's Aristotle, Pythagoras, and Plato. Maybe they have the solution to my problems. First off, Aristotle has made things very clear that quality and quantity have almost nothing in common. For example, there's a rock, and that rock's quality can be the color, texture, weight, and so on. But according to Aristotle, quantity answers the question, how much? Notice how quality actually doesn't mean something is good. It is more of a description of attributes a thing has, which means there is no such thing as high quality. Literally. We kind of just adopted that quality means better. When we hear quality clothing, we certainly don't think, blue. So if we want to go really deep, we can say that there is no such thing as good quality art, as different qualities appeal to different people differently. Are you starting to get it? We need to rephrase the question from how quality to how can I make my paintings more realistic so that I can get more high quality girls? Because that is the quality I want to improve in my paintings. But what is the fastest way to get there? Should I be focused on one painting for a long period of time to make it as realistic looking as possible, or more is better? There was once a pottery teacher called Brian. 1 month, he decided to split the class into 2 groups. Group A had to make a pot every day for 30 days, and Group B had to work on a single pot for the whole 30 days. At the end of the month, Brian judged the quality of the pots. Without exception, every one of the 10 pots came from Group A. None came from the group that focused on perfecting their single pot. Okay, cool, so why then do all the most famous artworks from the best painters in the world took years to finish? What about if they did the experiment for 90 days? Or what about a year? You're telling me if you spent 10 years on a singular pot longer than anyone in history, this wouldn't be the best clay pot ever? I was about to give up because I could not find any direct answer to my question from any of these blogs, but at the bottom of the internet I seen Plato say, better to complete a small task well than to do much imperfectly. The greatest philosopher on this earth has answered me directly and said, do quality. Let's not be fooled. This guy died 2000 years ago, so maybe it's outdated and no longer the truth. Well, there is only one way to find out. So hypothetically, if I was given 5 days and I could only paint for up to 2 hours per day, what would be my best plan of attack to paint the most realistic looking painting possible? Plato says to focus on one thing properly, while people online say quantity leads to quality. I will test both theories. For my first theory, I will paint 1 painting per day in those 2 hours. And in my second theory, I will take all those hours combined together and spend on 1 painting. Afterwards, we will compare which one turned out the best.
It might not be the right time. I might not be the right
While painting, I was reminded of this book I read when I was 17 years old that talked about how demand which you could look at as quality, and supply is quantity. After the Second World War, there was a baby boom, which first caused a shortage in diapers and then everything else afterwards. There was not enough supply, and anyone that opened a factory was guaranteed to make money. This led to an industrial revolution and rise of Chinese factories, and nowadays we have more stuff than one could ask for. Now that we were satisfied, we started to demand a new thing, and that thing was quality. Nowadays, if you open a business before you find a real demand, you will fail with zero chance of success. The only way you can stand out in today's market is by being better than the 99% of what already exists. Quality is everything nowadays, and you can't deny it. And here are the results. Comment below which one you think looked the best. Also, remember that wanting more is not always good, because what is better and more valuable than life? So go help others because they deserve more quality help. But do you know what is more bizarre and crazy than life? You guessed it, contemporary art. Go watch this video to find out why.